Good morning. It is so glad to see you, all of you. Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm so glad you made it. Thank you. So, our affirmation this morning is I am the creator of my life's path. So, just breathe for a moment because that's huge to take that in. Okay, and let's say it together. I am the creator of my life's path. And let's take that into prayer. Today, the first Sunday of 2022, we bring that into fruition, into manifestation. I am the creator of my life's path. And so today, knowing that, we hold in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, that we can create a different world. We can create a world of peace. We hold the space for a world of healing. We hold the space and the thought and the belief that we can be a more compassionate planet. And we hold a space for that physical healing, the emotional healing, for each and every person, knowing that the power of the divine, the power of spirit, the power of God moves through and as us. And it touches, that energy touches each and every cell in our body, allowing those cells to do what they are innately here to do, to heal, to work as a system, to work within the system, to do their job. And we hold that space for ourselves and for each and every person we know. And so it is. And welcome to Unity of Mesa, where we enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift our world through a greater expression of God, God, God. Here I am. It cut God right out, didn't it? So, but God is still there, whether the mic cuts God out or not. So, I am Reverend Judy, and joining me this morning on platforms, Tamara Stevens and Louise Zeman is our, it's Zeman, right? Zeman is our board member of the day. I've known her for how many years now? Anyway, sorry, my apologies. And Dennis Hubert and his sister, Stephie Ray, are going to be our musicians today. And this is our first Sunday of the month, so I would love to invite any of our children who are in the congregation, if they would come up, because we're going to do a little lesson, and I need some help with the birthday song. So, kiddos, if you can come on up. Anybody who's 18 or under, love to have you come on up. Oh, good. Tell you what, we're just going to sing happy birthday. Do you want to stand up and sing happy birthday? Want to stand up and sing happy birthday? Yeah, okay. All right.
So we're going to sing it one time through the regular way, and then the two unity verses after that. So if it's your birthday this month, please stand so we can honor you with the happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you, uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you with life and abundance galore. God bless you, my loved one, and have many more.
You want to sit down? So we're just going to have a little talk up here, okay? Is that all right? Can we have a talk? So do all of you have a name? Yes? You're sure? So can you tell me what your name is really loud, one at a time?
Haven.
Haven. Logan. Yeah, Logan.
Paul.
And Paul. So do you kids, do you like your names? Did I hear a yes? Yes, yes. Logan, do you like your name? Probably. Do you like your name, Logan? Hi. He laughed. Maybe he does or maybe he doesn't. So, a name, lots of times, a parent will spend lots of months, right, trying to figure out what are they going to name this kid. And so a name has some real spiritual energy with it. And so you guys had no trouble saying, this is who I am. How many of you claim your name? Some not so much. How many of you claim your given birth name? Let me tell you, when I hear Judith Ann, I think that's the name of the TV character, the lady who sat in the big giant chair. Wasn't she Judith Ann? Edith Ann. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. If Ann, yeah. But that's how I would feel whenever I would hear Judith Ann, because that meant I was probably in big trouble, right? So what do your parents say when you're in big trouble? Do they call you Paul, or do they call you more than Paul? He doesn't know. Okay, so he's not sure what they call, because I think he just hears the tone of the voice and he goes running, right? What about you, Haven? Havy or Haven? Okay. Mom just calls her Haven. Okay. So what about you guys? Did you have a name that when you heard it, it kind of made you kind of go, ugh? Yeah. So today we're going to be working with the white stone. And on the white stone, we're going to be taking on a new name or a new essence. So if you could change your name to anything, do you know what you would want to change it to? Say it again. One more time.
Rocco.
Is that a cartoon character? You don't know? Okay, Recco, that's the new name, right? Okay, so that's the name we would like to, yeah, you've got one name.
Elizabeth.
And we have an Elizabeth over here. Logan.
Want to tell him there?
Say it again.
King.
We're going to get it later. Okay. So having a new name for us is going to be important, and for them too. And they're going to go over to the annex, and they're going to work with getting a new name. They're also going to get to do their burning ceremony because they weren't here on burning bulb day. So they're going to do dissolving day. They're going to dissolve old things, and they're going to then think about what they want for the new year for them. So can you guys all find Miss Julie? She's way in the back and she's waving her hand. That's your grandma. Wow. Does she call you nicely by your name, or does she ever yell your name? Oh, she knows your name, but does she ever yell your name?
She does it in a stiff voice when I do something naughty.
A stiff voice. I like that. All right. Not yelling. All right. So we're going to take you three and we're going to let you. Oh, can you do the song with us first? We've got a song for all of us. So everybody gets to stand up because we know COVID is having a good time with us again, playing with us. And so we're just going to remind our bodies what we get to do. So this song goes over and over again, but it gets faster and faster, and there's some movements, okay? All right, so everybody gets to join in.
Especially if you know the movements, because I don't know them. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well.
We're gonna go to like grandma, my grandma. Yep, you're gonna go with grandma.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I have a few things for you to know about today. For the past 2 years, Daniel Namod was only able to join us remotely, but we're grateful to have him play his music via video for us. And now we're so excited to have the amazing singer, songwriter, and beloved New Thought artist, Daniel Namod, with us Sunday, January 9th, in person. Woo! That's next Sunday, 1 week from today. Daniel will bring us the music and message for Sunday service and stay and perform for an afternoon concert. The concert will be an in-person event only. Advance tickets are necessary. Don't wait until the day of. You can purchase tickets online or you can go in the bookstore and get tickets. Miss Gretchen Bickert is a sound and energy therapist, death doula, and grief movement guide. She is here at Unity of Mesa every first Wednesday for Gong Meditation, and she is bringing 2 very special workshops in January. On January 19th with Sunny O'Rourke is Let's Talk About Death, taking the end of life discussion out of the coffin and into conversation. Through guided meditation with sound, in-depth discussion about end-of-life planning, hands-on activities, and brief presentations, you will spend time reflecting upon this often avoided taboo topic. Honor your grief over the loss of a loved one and be supported in this grief with Reverend Judy and Gretchen Bickert on January 20th for a special workshop. It will be a time of ritual, of sharing, as well as understanding more of your grief and your journey as you embrace the changes in your life. And find full details, dates, times, cost, and more for either of these workshops and the concert on our Things for You to Know page at unityofmesa.org. For those of you in the building today, you may also register for any of these classes or workshops in the bookstore. And we welcome anyone who is new today, all who are joining us online, and those who are here in person. Thank you all for sharing your love and light with us this morning. Please know that your soul is welcome here. And now let's share our guiding statement to remind us why we come together. Together, we are here to experience more of the fullness of who we truly are in order to transform the world. All are welcome here. All right, I'm going to introduce Judy. Here's Judy.
So I'm going to add one thing to that as numbers are really just going up. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't listened to the news for several days. But please, for our sake and your sake, make sure you read that weekly email that comes out usually late Wednesday or maybe early Thursday. If you're not on the list to get it, please go to the website and sign up for it, because it's our way of getting information out to everybody. And the latest changes would be on the website. I'm just thinking forward and to remembering almost 2 years ago when we had to shut down, like, boom. So just in case things don't go well, but I've had more people walk in today telling me that they have a friend or a family member with COVID than any time in the past year and a half. So just know that, and we'll see what happens as we move along in this transformative time. So I want to talk a little bit about the white stone before we go into the meditation. Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." So how many of you have made a New Year's resolution? Not many of you. Oh my gosh. So what's that about? So I'm going to invite you to make a New Year's resolution, but I wouldn't set it as a goal. You know, that whole goal thing doesn't work, even though I went, oh yeah, I'm going to do 52 hikes in a year. And I did my first one yesterday, and I laid in bed last night going, oh, that was stupid. It was too far and too fast and too cold. But when you set your resolution, when you set your goal, not your goal, but an intention. So your intention may be to live healthier. Your intention may be to improve relationships. The goal out of to improve relationships might be to make weekly phone calls with family, to be the person who steps out and does that, to be the person who initiates a relationship with a neighbor who you know isn't getting out much. So it's the intention is what we want to set for our resolution. And an intention will drive our behavior then. So I invite everyone to do that. And with the white stone, what we're looking at is a word of something that we will need during this year. We will need it to change. We will need it to come up for us. And this is a powerful piece. And as I look back, and I've got all my little stones from the last 15 years, right now they're all dumped on a tray on a bookshelf. But as I put them there and looked through them over the years, I went, wow, that was powerful. And the most powerful one was probably 2019. So my goal at that point was to be healthy, was to focus on my health. So by the end of the year, with that kind of just sitting there in my house, so it was in my office, and I'd glance at it every once in a while and go, oh yeah, as I was eating a chocolate candy bar, and I'm such a chocoholic. And I was like, wow, look at what happened in 2019 for me. I said yes to walking the Camino, which meant I did training all summer on a treadmill in the gym for 3 hours a day to be able to walk 10 miles plus every day for 3 weeks. And then I did that experience, and it was such a life-changing experience. I became a vegan while I was on that journey. And, I had these experiences because I did the coastal route, and I walked the coast of Portugal and part of the coast of Spain, and then cut in up to Santiago. And one day I saw a gentleman coming out of the ocean with this snorkeling suit on and carrying a bag, and it was all squirmy. And he got up to his car right by me and set it on the ground, and it's squirming around. And it was octopus, which is the national dish of Portugal, I would say. And that evening when I got into town, I was looking for a place to eat. I walked past a plate glass window, and there's the tray of ice on the wood, and there's the octopuses, octopi, whatever they are, all on that tray, still wiggling and squirming. And going, ugh. And then lo and behold, guess what was on my plate for dinner that night? Yes, a little bit of octopus, and it's pretty rubbery, and I'm going, ugh. And then 2 days later, when I'm really homesick, I just ordered whatever the special was because nobody spoke English there where I was staying that time. And they bring me the special. And it's flounder, and a flounder is the fish that rolls over on its side and swims on its side. And the second eye migrates over so that both eyes are on the same side. And there's my plate with this flounder and the 2 eyeballs looking at me. And I'm getting pretty queasy at that point. And I saw French fries on a platter walking to another table. I'm going, I want French fries. And I started crying. I wanted to go home, and my knee hurt, and I just wanted to go home, and I couldn't eat it. And so I've not eaten meat or fish except accidentally once or twice since then. And in that process of I've ever been, I think nothing of yesterday. I did an hour yoga practice. I went out and hiked 4 miles, and I knew it after I got back. But I'm also over 70, and I'm going, yeah, this is how I want to live. I want to live healthy. But that word impacted my life that whole year. And so whatever word comes up for you today, trust it. Just trust it. So in a white stone ceremony, what we are actually doing is a process which allows spirit to give us a new name, a new thought, a new idea, or a symbol or a theme for this coming year. We can dramatically change and reshape our lives by what we call ourselves our focus on, by going within and listening for that still small voice, for the new sense of direction, that quality, that nature, that spirit is calling us to step up into. So last week, many of us did a burning bowl ceremony here, and we let go of things. So if you've not done that this year, I suggest when you get home, you take a few minutes to sit in the silence and then write down anything you want to let go of that you don't want to bring into 2022 from the past. And then you can shred it. You can scrunch it up, throw it down the toilet, or you can take it outside and burn it. Just be careful. Don't catch anything else on fire, and let it go. Just let it be. It's done. It's complete. And then a void is created for this newness to come in, this new word, this new idea, this new belief that Spirit is telling you is yours to deal with this year. So the white stone comes out of, the idea of the white stone comes out of the Bible. There are many instances of name changes in both the Hebrew and Christian scripture. When there was a change in someone's name, it indicated a change in consciousness. So after Jacob wrestled all night with the angel, his name was no longer Jacob, but it became Israel, which means to strive with God, to struggle or wrestle with God. And remember Saul of Tarsus, who persecuted the followers of Jesus until he was struck down on the road to Damascus with a vision of Jesus, who spoke to him and said, "Why are you persecuting me?" And then his name became changed to Paul. Paul means to lessen the personal will so that more of God can be expressed. Names powerfully describe the nature of who we are and the qualities we are to express in our lives. The source of the white stone is from the time of Jesus. When a prisoner was released from prison, he was given a white stone to symbolize his freedom and to prove that he had indeed been released. He had paid his debt. As long as he held his white stone, he was assured of his freedom. That person was free from bondage, free from any restrictions. We can use it as a symbol of freedom from the bondage or restrictions we create for ourselves. How many of you have put yourself in bondage? Every once in a while, right? Things you think, things you do. On my way here this morning, I started to put myself in bondage because I was considerably late, and I got behind somebody going 25 miles per hour in the 45-mile zone, and with half the road was closed, so there was no way around, and I was just going, and I thought, oh, just breathe. It's much safer this speed. Just let it be. Just let it be, and then go, and probably someone a little bit older who hasn't driven much in the last several months because they've probably been in a lot, and probably looking, trying to figure out, because there were cones along the road, and trying to figure out where the road's going to take them, because it's down there, that Lindsay and the 202 interchange that's changing, and they change the road every week. So you never know which way you're going. I ended up going the wrong way at one point, so I had lights coming at me and went, oh, I'm in the wrong lane. So going, Judy, this will keep you going slow enough that you won't end up coming head to head with another car. So just breathe. You don't have to put yourself in bondage over little things like that. Life is too much fun to get tied up with little things. And if you let all those little things start to become a chain each that gets wrapped around you, pretty soon you can't move. So we don't want that. So we're going to invite our hearts and our souls to speak to us today, using the white stone as our symbol of freedom from our bondages and our restrictions. But first, we're going to go ahead and do the song, The Rose, and not the same Bette Midler Rose as I was thinking. It's a different one, but I hope you enjoy this. And you wrote it, right? You guys wrote it?
Testing 1, 2. Yes, I want to tell a little story about this song. Stephie and I wrote this about 10 years ago. In April, I lost my job at the post office of 14 years and my wife on the same day. So I was a little depressed for a few months after that, and ended up about 6 months later going to Atlanta where Stephie lives, and she kind of helped me rehab. We wrote songs together and sang out, and one day I was just walking, she's a chiropractor, so I was walking around, helping her there too. I was walking around the office. I was just asking the universe, could I have a rose, please? And found a little bitty rose. There was an embroidered rose about that big that day. And I was like, thank you, universe, very much. The next day, I said, universe, could I have another rose, please, today? And a little while later, found a little card with a little poem on it, on a rose, about a rose. I was like, wow, that's really cool. The next day, walking around the office, universe, could I have a rose? And the thought came to my head, I am a rose slowly unfolding. And I went, oh, that'd make a good line to a song. So I sat down and wrote the words to this. And then I said, well, I don't know if I feel like a rose. Why don't I give the song to Stephanie? And it was our first collaboration, and have her write the music. So she wrote the music, and we performed it at like what was that? It was like a session, a songwriter session. So we would sing our songs, and people would critique us and give us some good feedback. So we sang that song, and the guy that was leading was like, oh my God, that song is perfect. And I think for 10 years, we have changed it just about every year, changed about 2 or 3 different things. So it hasn't stopped changing since it was first perfected 10 years ago. So let's see if it's any more perfect today. It's called I Am a Rose.
Do you mind if I add?
I do not mind.
Okay. That's inside of the story. Also, during that time that he was asking for a rose, he was saying, we were playing a lot of songs, and said something about, he made a comment about how gospel music is hokey. And I said, oh, really? It just like raises the hair up on the back of my head. I mean, it's just, gospel music is like, praise Jesus, how can you say that? And so he hands me these lyrics. And I handed it back to him that night after I wrote the music and said, here, you just wrote a gospel song.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope you enjoy it.
I am a sprout, so deeply rooted, grounded firmly in a truth, learning love, seeking wisdom, with the innocence of youth.
I am a rose, slowly unfolding, growing closer to the sun. All my life, sharing beauty till my time on earth is done.
I am a bud, so sweetly blooming, going far where I'm led, going peace,
Sweet peace
is my partner on this inward path I tread. I am a rose, slowly unfolding, growing closer to the sun. All my life, sharing beauty till my time on earth is done. I am a bloom, silently wilted, dropping petals every day, step by step, divinely guided, helping others find their way.
I am a rose, slowly unfolding, growing closer to the sun. All my life, sharing beauty till my time on earth is done. All my life sharing beauty till my time on earth is done.
And so now it's your turn to participate. So I invite you to take out your stone and hold it in your hand. And have your pencil nearby. And an ink pen doesn't write well on these. A pencil works best. And if you need one, raise your hand so the ushers can get one to you. And so in a little bit, we're going to allow a word for your stone to come forth. It can be all sorts of words. It can be a name or a word like allow, trust, compassion, love, faith. Yes, those have all been my words over the last years. And we invite you to be open to whatever word Spirit brings to you. And it doesn't have to necessarily be one word. It can be 2 or 3. It can be a noun or a verb or an adjective. Just whatever word you hear. And yes, you can go, are you crazy? Are you nuts? That's not going to be my word. And then if that's what's coming up for you, I invite you to just close your eyes again, breathe, and say, is this my word? And just listen. And if another one doesn't come up, it's probably your word, and you're going to need it sometime during the year. So go ahead, hold that stone in your hand, and feel the smoothness of it. And turn within as you are led to do. And we might lower lights a little bit. Probably close your eyes to help remove the outer sensory pieces. Maybe take a deep, relaxing breath. I invite you to take the hand that's holding the stone and put it against your heart for a moment. Take your other hand and put it on your belly. And feel your breath moving all the way down into that deep belly breath. And then as you exhale, exhale from your belly first. So we connect our heart and our creative center. We'll take several breaths here. Breathing long, slow, deep breaths all the way down to your belly. And energetically connecting your belly to your heart. Now take the hand that's on your belly and put it up on your forehead. This is sometimes called your third eye, your spiritual eye. We connect that with our heart right now. And we continue to breathe deep into our belly. And we feel the energy of the breath as it comes in through the nostrils and all the way down to the belly, through the heart, and then back out and up from the belly into the heart and up into the head and out through the nostrils. And then we take our hand from our heart with our stone and we put it on our belly, connecting, fully connecting the belly area, the gut area with our third eye, our spiritual eye. And then we allow both hands to rest in our lap. And as you feel the smoothness of the stone, know that it represents the unending possibilities of life that beckon you. And we surrender in this moment to the limitless love of spirit. We feel God's love and God's grace. We are immersed in the presence of spirit, enfolded in God, for this is our true essence. I invite you to allow my words to be the words of your own heart. I let go and I let Spirit, our God, our higher power. I now free myself to live more fully. I release the limitations of the past, those old beliefs I thought were law. I surrender limiting images of who I am and know myself to be a glorious expression of spirit, of God, of love, here to make a difference. I imagine myself now leaving the prison, a prison of limitation, perhaps of my own creation, leaving behind the shackles of negative thinking. The door before me opens and I walk through to freedom. Freedom. I am handed a white stone, and it reminds me that I am free and I have a new identity. I am a free person. I allow myself to open to a life of unlimited possibilities in 2022. I allow my truest, highest, most glorious self to emerge. I reflect and I meditate on a new name, a new word that I will claim this year, that will inspire me, that will call forth the highest and best for me. And so I listen. I listen, knowing that the word is already written on my heart, trusting and knowing that in the perfect time it will come to me, and I am open to receive it. I listen now in the silence. A thankfulness flows through this room as we receive our new names. As you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes and write your word upon your stone. If you don't have your word now, don't worry, for it will come to you. It is still calling you. You will hear it in the perfect moment in the right time. And if you have written your name on your stone, I invite you to hold it to your heart. And if your stone is still waiting, hold it to your heart. And know that this word will take on greater and greater meaning as you move throughout the year. For it is sacred and holy, and it comes from the wisdom of your own heart. It is calling you to be the one. In great gratitude, we affirm and we pray, and it is done. Amen. And so just take a deep breath. And your experience is your experience. And all is good. And I sat up here and fought with my new word, going, no. Let's try something else. Let's try something else. No. It's my word. I get to accept my word. So know that if no name came, it will come. Just remain open to hearing it, and it may pop up at the strangest time, but it will come. And so you just get this word popping up. Know that's what it is. Go grab that stone and write it. And you can share it, or you can keep it close to your heart, whichever you want to do. And families, the children are doing this next door, so they will have a name on their stone too. And they may choose to keep it close to them, or they may choose to share. It's their choice. Put your stone where you will see it and be reminded of it. It's not like where it has to be in your face, but where you will pass it and go, oh yeah, I remember that. And today is the first blank page of a 364-day book now. You get to write your book, and your inner knowing has just given you guidance. So as you write your book of life this year, have fun and write a good one, everyone. And thank you for sharing this experience with me. I appreciate you all. I think we have exciting news coming up.
Let's take one more deep breath to finish and complete that beautiful service that Judy just provided us. Because I do have some information to share with you from our board of directors on the ministerial search. I'm going to take just a little time here. I'm going to start with a brief recap of the search process steps, and they include input from the search committee, and then the board interviewed the recommended candidates and then checked their references. The next step was their virtual service participation on December 5th, followed by the survey feedback. Since all that has been highly positive, Reverends Mindy Tucker and Nikki Golden will do an on-site visit January 21st through the 23rd, leading the service on Sunday, the 23rd. So the trip details are now being finalized, along with setting up an itinerary and an agenda for their visit. Every effort will be made to provide them with as much exposure as possible to Unity of Mesa congregants, staff, board, community, and the Mesa Phoenix area. Those details will be shared when available. As a point of clarification, they are applying as co-ministers for our position. Should we want to make them an offer, those details will need to be worked out. But that would be getting ahead of ourselves right now. So now, as requested through the survey, I will briefly share some of their background and experience. And let's start with Reverend Mindy Tucker. Reverend Mindy has served as a catalyst of transformation for Unity communities since 2008. Her home church in Honolulu, then to Hartford, Connecticut, and now in Wilmington, North Carolina. Her path to ministry has been an eclectic one, as most are. After receiving a Bachelor of Arts in History from the University of Southern California, Reverend Mindy earned a Master's in Business Administration from the University of Hawaii. With 20 years of corporate service and child rearing service, Reverend Mindy re-engaged in truth studies, returning to her lifelong dream to be ordained as a Unity minister. Now let's move to Dr. Nikki Golden. Reverend Nikki is currently licensed psychologist and an ordained Unity minister. She has worked in a number of university settings, such as University of California, San Diego State, University of Hawaii, and has shared her love of teaching across many graduate students. She is a certified life coach at Hendricks Institute and served as director of Unity Center of Conscious Living from 2009 to 2013. Ordained as a Unity minister on May 5th, 2017, Nikki completed training through the Unity Urban Ministerial School. Now a little bit on their co-ministry. Reverends Mindy and Nikki shared they are committed to serving a spiritual community that is alive and vibrant, one that embodies spiritual principles and has a strong desire for meaningful expansion. Together, they bring balance and synergy of ministerial leadership to amplify outworking of dynamics and the experiences, compassionate and sacred service, and evolutionary spiritual programming. Over the past 3 years, they have successfully engaged in co-ministry partnership, demonstrating an ability to seamlessly interweave their leadership preferences. They have an even longer history of collaborating in educational endeavors, developing a fluid style that reflects deep respect and appreciation of one another's unique skills and expertise. More of their bios, including some personal data, will be shared later this week on the website, unityofmesa.org. So bring open hearts, open minds, and your beautiful spirits, and join us on the 23rd, either online or in person. And we'll let you know more of what's coming for the rest of the visit. Now, let's move on to our offering. We are abundantly blessed at Unity of Mesa as it continues to manifest. Living the Christ invites us to remember that we are connected to Source and life flows through us. We give as source to what we care about, what we want to see thrive. As we each give of our time, talents, and treasures generously, the work we do here prospers. So if you would take your gifts in your hands and your hearts and say with me our blessing. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We give thanks for the gifts and the givers, especially the givers. Thank you.
Check. This is another song that I wrote. I sang it for the Whitestone last year. And Stephie's kind of helped me tweak it a little bit. So it's a little different than you heard it before, but I think you'll still enjoy it. We have today.
Another day is gone. Another week is lost to passing time. Another month is done. Another year left only in our minds.
Surrender to the flow. Another sacred step toward journey's end. We can't make time go slow. The only thing to do is call it friend. There's a new dawn, we get a new name, a white stone. We get to speak the word, create our world, rejoice in all we do. So grateful we can say, we have today. The moment didn't last. We watched as all the feelings flew away. The minutes quickly passed. We hoped that this time one or two would stay.
Couldn't do it all. We're just standing tall. We know we did the best we could do.
There's a new dawn, we get a new name, a white stone. We get to speak the word, create our world, rejoice in all we do. So grateful we can say, we have today.
We've all got our regrets, the things we said and the things we didn't say.
But whatever we did or didn't get to do, that was yesterday. We have today. There's a new dawn, we get a new name, a white stone. We get to speak the word, create our world, rejoice in all we do. So grateful we can say we have today. So grateful we can say we have today. Thank you.
So chaplains are available for after service. Ian and John are both here and are more than happy to pray with you for anything that's a challenge in your life or anything that's a joy in your life. Yeah. When we hold that gratefulness for those blessings in prayer, they tend to expand. And the other thing, Dennis, doing the lesson on the 16th, is by next week. Yeah, no pressure. Anyway, all right, so everyone, let's stand and know the garden is open. And I didn't look to see what it looks like after all the rain, but I'm sure it's great. And thank you all for your contributions. The new AC and heater is going in tomorrow morning. And so I'm very thankful, yes. I don't mind being hot in my office, but being cold is a whole nother ballgame. Okay, so together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Well, have a blessed 2022, and let's just, somebody said, tiptoe into it gently. So whatever feeds you. Yes. Have a great week, everyone.